Have you ever wondered what causes earthquakes? Let's dive into this fascinating topic. You see, an earthquake is caused by a sudden slip on a fault. Think of it as two massive blocks of the Earth's crust, also known as tectonic plates, rubbing against each other. Now, these plates don't always glide smoothly. Sometimes they get stuck. The stress builds up until it overcomes the friction between them. And then, bam, the energy is released and we feel it on the surface as an earthquake. A prime example of this is the San Andreas Fault, where the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate meet. These two plates are constantly moving past each other, but not always smoothly. The Pacific Plate is heading northwest at about 2 inches per year. It's a constant game of creep and occasional large releases of energy. So what we perceive as a sudden and terrifying shake is really the result of a long and slow process taking place deep beneath our feet. It's like a giant game of push and pull happening beneath our feet. But what happens when these tectonic plates finally give in to the pressure? Well, it's a process that can be likened to an unseen drama unfolding beneath our feet. Imagine two massive tectonic plates, each several miles thick, locked together in an epic struggle. The stress builds over time as they push and pull against each other, each trying to move in its own direction. Now picture the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, two titans of the underworld meeting at the San Andreas Fault. This fault line stretches over 650 miles long. Year after year, the Pacific Plate moves northwestward past the North American Plate at a rate of about 2 inches per year. This continuous motion known as creep can be compared to a slow dance of giants, but occasionally the slow dance turns into a violent wrestling match. When the stress overcomes the friction holding the plates together, they slip. This sudden slip is what we feel as an earthquake. Yet the drama doesn't begin or end with the main event. Sometimes there are foreshocks, smaller quakes that occur before the big one, like a prelude to the main act. They serve as a reminder that the tectonic plates are constantly battling against each other. And then, there are aftershocks, the encores of the main performance. These are smaller tremors that occur after the main quake, gradually decreasing in frequency over time. They can last from hours to days, even months, and serve as a stark reminder of the main event. It's important to note that earthquakes are not tied to any particular time of the day or significantly correlated with tides. They can strike anytime, anywhere, adding an element of unpredictability to our tectonic drama. So, the drama doesn't end with the main event, there are aftershocks to consider too. Now you're probably wondering what happens after an earthquake. Well, the aftermath can sometimes be as dramatic as the quake itself. One of the possibilities is a surface rupture. This is when the movement on a fault breaks through to the surface. Now this doesn't happen with every earthquake, but when it does, it can significantly alter the landscape. Imagine the ground beneath you suddenly splitting open. Quite a sight, isn't it? But where exactly do these earthquakes take place? They occur in the crust, or upper mantle of the Earth. It's like the skin of an apple, if you will, but much thicker. The strength of the shaking you feel during an earthquake diminishes the farther you are from its source. So if you're at a distance from the epicenter, you might not feel the quake as strongly as someone who's right on top of it. Now here's something you might not have expected. We humans can actually induce earthquakes. That's right. Our activities such as reservoir impoundment, mining, and even fluid withdrawal and injection can cause the Earth to shake. It's a stark reminder of the impact we have on our planet, isn't it? But fear not, knowledge is power, and understanding earthquakes is the first step to being prepared. There's an ocean of resources out there to help you learn more. You can check out educational websites that break down complex concepts into easy-to-digest information. State geological surveys offer a wealth of data and insights. And organizations like IRIS, the Incorporated Research Institutions for Seismology, provide in-depth studies and educational materials. Understanding earthquakes is the first step to being prepared. Check out resources like educational websites, state geological surveys, and organizations like IRIS to learn more.